the three dimensions of what directors are stewards of in an organization. Three dimensions are the governance framework that they build and design that is adaptable and flexible enough to achieve the second dimension of their strategy. So when they define strategic themes, the strategic theme governance relationship is this is where we want to go, this is who's accountable for what we're doing and where we're going. And the third dimension of stakeholders. Many people would say, well, why not risk? Well, in today's environment, every risk an organization faces is linked to a stakeholder. In the past, risks were seen as separate things, but actually, risk is stakeholder driven. And so your third dimension, so imagine a Rubik's Cube. On the one face, you have your governance structure, the system, the framework, the things you put in place to make sure that you've covered all your accountabilities in your organization. Your second face of the Rubik's Cube are your stakeholders, mapping out who is impacted by your organization. Is it primarily people, employees, and communities, or is it environmental? What kind of risks are linked to that? So is it an operational risk? People working with dangerous equipment? Is it an environmental risk? Working, mining, manufacturing, that kind of thing? Is it a financial risk? Working in banking? So you stewards or custodians of people's wealth. And then the third face of third dimension of the Rubik's Cube are your strategic themes. So on a strategic cycle, every 3 to 5 years, sitting down and saying, what is our long-term vision, our 10, 20, 30-year vision even, and what are we going to do in the next 3 to 5 years to accomplish that? And so how does that then affect, or how is that taken into account in our governance structure, and what stakeholders are impacted, and so therefore what risks do we face in achieving what we want to achieve? And too many organizations, their Rubik's Cube isn't nice and clean. It isn't finished. It has a whole lot of mixed up sides. And so the governance structure isn't robust enough to actually take into account all the stakeholders. Their strategic themes, when they decide to do something, they don't have the system in place to actually do it. So those three elements should determine or drive the agenda at not just board meetings, but also strategic meetings. Exco should be talking regularly about what is our governance structure, is it appropriate, is it flexible to achieve what we want to achieve, and who do we impact along the road.